Good morning all, hope everyone's well. I'm just going to do a short video on all my products and just explain to you guys what they are, how they work. So I'll just and you can see. So we'll start off with my hard wax oil clear interior. That's the finish it gives. So what is hard wax oil clear interior? So it's made up of different linseed oils, beeswax, carnauba wax, and some essential oils. And what a hard wax oil does, it's a penetrating oil that penetrates the wood and protects the wood from the inside out. And it's quite durable, really good water resistance on it, and it can be used on any kind of wooden surface interiorly. Then we'll move on to my hard wax oil natural interior, which is exactly the same as the hard wax oil clear interior, but it's slightly pigmented to keep the wood looking light. So if you are busy with a project and you're using something like oak or beechwood, just a light colored wood, and you don't want to go any darker than what it is, you use the hard wax natural, and that will keep it looking lighter and then using the traditional hard wax oil clear. And then we move on to hard wax oil clear exterior. Now my hard wax oil clear exterior is UV protected, so it's good for exterior projects, any exterior, whether it's decks, pergolas, benches, tables, chairs. You can use that on there. This was a video I did a couple of weeks ago just to show on this piece of Maranti, going from this dull grey to sanding it down and then putting the treatment on. It is slightly pigmented, just to give it added UV protection. Yeah, great for outdoors. Then we move on to my hard wax oil urethane. So what it is, it's also a combination of linseed oils, essential oils, beeswax. There's no carnauba wax in it, but there is urethane. So slightly reduce some of the linseed oils and I add a bit of urethane in it. So what that does is it gives you extra durability on the surface. So it is a penetrating oil, but it also leaves a slight layer on top of the surface. The urethane sits on top, and what that does, it gives you extra protection. It's really formulated for flooring, tabletops, countertops, just where there's a lot of foot traffic, where you need that extra durability. And then we move on to my Danish oil, which is a traditional Danish oil made up of oils, urethane and solvent. And that, very much like the hard wax oil, brings out the natural color and the grain of the wood. Really good product to use as well. Then we move on to my Danish Oil Plus. So what's the Danish Oil Plus? That is partially traditional Danish oil, but it's slightly thicker. Also contains urethane, and what that does, besides bringing out the natural color and grain of the wood, it also leaves a slight protection layer on top, so it gives a little bit of extra durability. Now the thing with the Danish Oil Plus and the hard wax oil urethane, it does leave a slight sheen finish on the surface, because it is slightly, what's the word now, surface coating. So not just penetrating, but also leaves a surface on the top of the wood. And yeah, as per the traditional Danish oil, and my hard wax oil leaves a more natural feel to the wood, which doesn't leave a layer like you would get on a traditional varnish. So those are the 6 coatings that I have available, all in clear. And then lastly we have my pre-treatment. So the pre-treatment is it's natural acids combined with water to penetrate deeply into the wood, and what it does is it kills off any algae and wood boring insects. So as it dries in the wood, it crystallizes and leaves a protection layer, but it doesn't remove algae, it doesn't remove the insects that are currently in the wood. It basically seals it in and closes off those areas and stops it from, well, stops the algae from growing further, and kills off the existing algae, but it doesn't remove it. So I don't know if you guys understand that, but you do get some algae cleaners, and that actually removes the algae off the surface, but it doesn't leave a crystallized protection within the wood itself that carries on protecting the wood thereafter. Yeah, a lot of them out there are just basically cleaners. Really, that just cleans off the surface but doesn't protect it afterwards. Where this is actually, as I said, crystallizes within the wood once it dries, and then leaves a lasting protection, so the algae doesn't grow back in those areas, and as I said, it kills off the wood boring insects as well. So guys, these are my products and can be used widely on any type of woods. So if you guys are interested and need some advice with any projects you're busy with, that's what I'm here for. Contact me. I don't just sell products, I give advice, I guide you in the right direction. And yeah, thanks guys.